Hello everyone, my name is Omkar and today I'm going to talk about SAFE PMPO certification. So I passed this certification last week and I would like to share my experience and give you some tips and tricks so that you can also clear your exam easily. So let's start with it. When it comes to SAFE Product Owner Product Manager exam, so there are usually 45 questions and 45 questions and you are supposed to answer minimum 33 to pass this exam. Okay, so and then you have 90 minutes to finish this exam. So in terms of timelines, it's not really difficult because you have three answer options for every question. So given that only three choices are available, all are objective type, and then you have 45 questions, 90 minutes. It's pretty easy in terms of time management, so time is never a constraint. However, I've seen many times some of the answers are very close, so we have to be extra careful. So I'll give you some tips and tricks for that. So moving on, so to start with, if for the preparation, there is a website which is called scaleagileframework.com. So you must be very, so scaleagileframework.com. So this is a site we should have. It should have all the details about this examination and details. So this is very good website in terms of a big picture. So make sure that you have clear understanding, and then everything is clickable on this picture. So you have make sure that you have very good understanding of this big picture, so that you know how things work in a safe. Then in the same website there is a section called glossary. So make sure, so this is a glossary, so make sure that you go through this glossary as well, because I have seen multiple questions around this glossary. Then while this website gives you all content, there are some practice exams also available. When you apply for certification, there is one practice test which is available, and you can give that exam any number of time. So make sure that before you give the real test, you have you make sure that you complete that practice test until you get 100% in that. So that's my recommendation. Then you also get one workbook, which is this basically a PDF document, and then you can go through this, which is a short PP, and typically this is used for your the course, the 2 days 16 hours course that you'll be doing it. They will be covering this course, but then here, as you can see, you have 5 big topics which are mainly where the questions are asked. So let's go and look at the big picture, and I'll try to show you what kind of questions we get, and then so that you can focus your study accordingly. So let's look at this picture. So if you see in this big picture, let's look at it a bit closer. Okay, so on this one, first and the foremost thing is the level. So here right now I have selected a picture which is more of a full picture, but then look at this level. This is a portfolio level, this is a large solution, this is essential. So essential is basically your team and program level. So this is very important because based on the level, answers are changing. So make sure that every questions that you are answering, at which level is that question. So for example, if you are talking about portfolio, you have epics and enablers at portfolio level, but when it comes to solution, you have capability and enablers involved there. On the other hand, when it comes to team backlog, you have story and enabler, while for a program backlog, you still have these, but then again, note that there are different types of backlog. So here you have a team backlog, you have a program backlog, you have solution backlog, and then portfolio backlog. And then the way it flows is, team backlog is the lowest one, which is owned by product owner. Usually you'll have questions like who owns what. So product owner is owning this team backlog, product manager is owning this portfolio backlog, and then things move from this program backlog to team backlog, and then team also keeps adding them based on the technical debt and other requirements locally. So these are the concepts. So this is very important. Then there are always questions around this release on demand. So make sure that you are very clear about this DevOps. There is a concept called CALM, CALMR. So make sure that you know that a long form for CALM is basically culture and other things. So by heart, you should know the long form by heart. Then for stories, I have seen a technique called invest. So also make sure that you know the long form for invest, each acronym, and then there are questions around that. Then here below you see core values. Then there are 4 core values. I have seen questions around core values as well. Then you have this lean, house of lean. So I have seen questions around that as well. What are the pillars of house of lean? And then questions around the SAFE principle as well. So small things, but a lot of things in this picture. So also make sure that you have a clear understanding of this open operational value chain and development value chain. So there are questions around that as well. And then last but not the least, these competencies. So there are 7 competencies. Make sure that you have clear understanding of those 7 competencies. So if you go through this, half of your questions are already covered in this page itself. Obviously you need to have a clear concept, and then there are more fine detailed level question as well. For example, solution roadmap, what is the timeline for roadmap at a PI level, at a program level. So a lot of questions around that. So this is the big picture and related questions. Moving on, I'll take some sample questions and show you how I tackle them. For example, which statement characterizes the perspective definition of done? So, and then definition of done, they were focus was more on the iteration and release. Who is responsible for iteration? Who is responsible for release? So I used basically I eliminated all wrong options, and then I ended up with this solution. So this I basically eliminated the wrong one. Then the same thing for the second one. The question is for the first PI. The new teams asked to provide their capacity. Which actions are part of the initial planning process? So here it's a bit tricky. I have seen many people answer it wrong. So ensure product owner, product manager approves. So one highlighted in red, that is also marked by some people. But then I read it closely. I am pretty sure that that's not the answer. The 3, if we have to choose from this list, then I'd be selecting the first one. So add the points for sorry, first one is wrong because anyway it's a first time, so you don't have really the history available. So subtract 1 point for each team member's vacation. That's one. Definitely compare the first team capacity across all teams, and so this is also wrong. And then fill the one in the green, and the last one, use 8 points per person is the standard recommended. Then you have a next question around how PI planning process highlights what is an input for PI planning process that highlights how product management plans to accomplish this vision. So again, few people get it confused with business context and top 10 feature, but note that the answer is top 10 feature. That's how that's an input to your program planning. Then the last question, the fourth question, is around operational value chain and development value chain. Make sure that you have a clear concept around this, and always remember that when it comes to customer, adding value to the customer, that's your operational value chain, and then that's very high level. And then whenever you have a software, website, or any tool to implement to support this chain, then it's usually operational development value chain. So in this case we are talking about some internal system for insurance company, and then for claims, then it is for development value chain, the value stream. That's the answer. So that's the those are the sample questions. So if you have more questions or if you need some help, feel free to put comments, and I'll be more than happy. Hope this video help you to get some tips and tricks. So wish you the best. Thank you. Bye.